Yeah.
And now we're recording.
Now we're recording, so yeah.
And now, wait
1 second. This was very unprofessional.
Exciting if we can get the next slide on. We have a slightly technical challenge at the moment.
It should work.
Yeah, it should work. We got a message that we have some echo. I don't know if it's this wonderful room that we are sitting in where we have the echo.
Is it better now, or?
Yeah.
I hope so.
Hope so. And yeah, and now we'll try to restart our presentation or start again. Here's a map of what we call the NORA region. NORA comprises 4 countries: Greenland, Iceland, Faroes, and what we call coastal Norway, which are the counties in Norway from Rogaland in the south and all the, you could call them North Atlantic counties in Norway. That's the countries that are part of NORA. And then we have our work in NORA is a Nordic cooperation, we call it. So cooperation is the key here, and we try to put focus on the challenges that are common to us. We could talk about enormous distances, for instance, between Kakartok in southwest Greenland and to Vadsø in the northernmost Norway. It's more than 3,000 kilometers, almost 3,500. To give a picture of how long that is actually equal the distance between Brussels in Europe and northern Iraq. So you could talk about regional development program with Brussels and Aleppo, for instance, in Syria. That's the distance we are talking about. Then we have what we could call coastal societies. We have where the demography is challenged. Many of our communities have a skewed demography with more older people and the young people moving away. And then we have sparsely populated areas, vast areas with very few people. And then we have another challenge, could be vulnerable economies, very, what you could call single economies, mostly on fisheries. And then, if not right now here in Tórshavn, harsh climate, strong winds, much rain, and all the other things, the high waves when you're at the sea, generally a harsh climate. These are the challenges that all our area is working on. And it's always when I started saying cooperation, and we try to message that with these lines in between all these countries. So you have to challenge these challenges in cooperation.
So this NORA is funding projects, cooperation projects. So main foundations for a project is that there should be
We got a new message about the sound, so we need to get something done. There's an echo.
I'm not quite sure what to do with that, actually.
Yeah.
We will hopefully this might work better now.
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll see.
Otherwise, you will have it all the messages twice.
Yeah. Is it better?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So a foundation for a project is to solve a problem. So what is the problem is an important part of phrasing your project, and especially how do you solve the problem. Lastly, as a funding organization, NORA is interested in how much does it cost to solve the problem. So these are the main questions that you need to think about when you are sketching out your project and when you are writing your project description to NORA. And in a project, there is often a timeline. So a project, definition of a project is that it ends with something. A project should always end. And a timeline in a project is often split into three parts. Idea phase, which starts from the beginning and pretty much constantly goes on throughout the whole project. Then you start developing something afterwards, and then you often end, if there's a project that ends with a product, something commercial, the commercial phase at the very end. NORA's role in a project timeline is quite early on. We come in a phase we like to call pre-commercial phase, which is before starting to commercialize on a product or some kind of ending of the project, because then other funders are involved.
And what kind of teams are we talking about? A lot of the areas here in the North Atlantic is covered by ocean, by sea, so bioeconomy is very close, what we could call the blue bioeconomy, but the green bioeconomy could also be part of it. And bioeconomy is basically an economic activity based on biology in some sense. Then we have tourism, sustainable tourism. We will actually have a conference later this year on this theme, but we will get back to that later, not in this presentation, but later this year to talk about that conference. But try to enhance the tourism, and maybe in the next application round and the one after that, I could imagine that some project are going to aim the COVID-19 situation and what to do after COVID-19, how to regenerate the tourism. Then we have circular economy. This is a new theme in the NORA portfolio, so we're looking forward to see what you creative people out there are going to give us on that portfolio. Then we have transportation. That will in many sense be sea transportation, and because we don't have that much rail transportation between Greenland and northern Norway. That is like the international transportation between the countries, but you could also have transportation issues locally in connection with the tourism. How to secure reasonable public transport to the remote areas that will fulfill the needs both in the summertime where the tourists are and in the wintertime where there are no tourists. How to make that happen? That could be a project that we have actually one dealing with at least issues of that. Then we have energy, that is mostly green energy, RES, renewable energy sources, and many of them, these will aim at what you could call island mode, at communities that are not part of a larger European network or a larger network. And then this is another new theme that we have here in our portfolio this time, local communities. That could be democracy issues, how to engage youth in the communities, how to get more and better public services to the communities, making people stay there rather than move away. You could say it very simple, make the local communities a better place to live. Yeah. That could be one issue, one theme rather.
And we have some basic requirements for what NORA can support, and that's that we can only support up to 500,000 Danish kroner per year. We can support a project of up to 3 years, so in total 1.5 million Danish kroner. We require all projects to have some kind of self-funding as well, so we can offer up to 50% or fund up to 50% of the budget of the project. And it has to be a cooperation between at least 2 of the NORA countries, so Iceland, Greenland, Faroe Islands, or coastal Norway. Hopefully, you are able to include all 4 countries in the project, but to be a NORA project, you have to have at least 2 involved. And at last, the mentioned themes that Jakob talked about, they should preferably be within one of those themes.
Who can be a project partner? Basically everyone. There's no formal requirements. You could be a private partner, a private person, as just one single person, and all the way up to ministries. We have actually had projects with ministries, and we have had projects with where one single person is taking part on his or her behalf. But that said, you have to be a participating and contributing member of the project, meaning that this is a cooperational project. You come to the table with something, with your skills or whatever you have to solve this common challenge. And when you leave the table, you take something with you back to your own community. So you're not like a sleeping silent partner in these projects. And then you have to have an address in the NORA region, meaning that, for instance, for Norway, Oslo area is out, Denmark is out. There is, however, there could be an exception for Denmark, at least, where in some rare occasion the national authority of Greenland and Faroes might be in Denmark, but this is very, very rare, and we could have the same situation sometimes in Norway with the national authority. If that authority will take part in the project, will be based in Oslo. Then we accept an address outside the NORA region. That said, partners outside are very welcome to join us, be it from Scotland, be it from US, Denmark, Sweden, but they have to be self-financed, or at least not financed through the NORA funding.
So yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, there was and then also mention these consultants. When I said you don't to be a sleeping partner, we rather not like to see projects where we have like, let's say 4 partners, where 3 of them are more or less sleeping, and then we have one consultant coming in doing all the job, just like on a consultant basis, making all the jobs, and not that much cooperation in these projects. That said, consultants are welcome to be part of project also, but not like taking the whole work or taking the whole funding.
Exactly. NORA has, since the beginning in 1996, funded hundreds of projects. All of these projects, at least most of them, can be found on NORA's website with a brief description and partners. This is just to show you the huge vast of the differences in the projects that NORA can fund, and just to show that there is basically just the imagination that stops you here, as long as they are within the required teams. Here are a few examples, and the rest can be found on the website.
Yes. And so what is the funding to be used for? Like we had mentioned before, these common problems or common challenge, you should try to reach a common solution to this common challenge, to put it very popular. That's like the aim of the whole project. And in these Corona times, you could also fund a webinar or seminars or online conferences on these on our funding. But the main idea of the most of these projects are some kind of networking that should be done, and you could also have prototypes, product development. Of course, if you're going to do 1,000 units, maybe not, you should apply NORA for that, but if you want to make 1 or 2 units, be it in a fab lab or wherever you're going to do those, or make in the tourist sector to try to develop a certain tourist offer, then you can do it together with us or with our funding. And travels are, of course, one when we are allowed to do that again, hopefully soon. that could also be an eligible cost for our projects. As said, when thinking about the Kakartok miles or distance, of course, travel could be sometimes a substantial sum in some of our projects, just to be able to meet, to have these meetings and have these project developments. And what should you not use them for? Hardware bricks, normally we say, I'm talking about, I don't know, building a house in connection with your tourist project or the other thing. The money is aimed for the cooperation. That is like the core thing, the key message to take home here. And production, as mentioned before, if you want to do 1,000 units or something to try to sell it on a commercial basis, I think you are outside our area to give funding.
Mm-hmm. And NORA is currently running a new round of project funding. And the next deadline for applying is Monday, 8th of March. And we expect to be able to reply to the applications by the middle of June. We have now, or are now about to launch a new digital application form, which will be replacing the old Word document we used to have. This application form is not quite finished yet, but it will be ready and released by 15th of February on our website and in social media, of course. But the application form is quite similar to the one that we have had for years already, and we will expect US applicants can definitely, if you already have the last version, you can take that as kind of a reference to what you should answer and elaborate on in the application form released in February. So if you don't have it, you can also ask us to send you a copy of that old version to see what kind of questions that we will ask in the application form.
And that will not be wasted work to like.
Absolutely not. So
if you already have started on your so to speak normal old.
Just don't forget that we will only accept applications in the digital form. But you can start filling it out and then move it over to the digital form later on.
Yes, do not hesitate to contact us. We have contact persons in all our countries. In Iceland, we have Sigrid Torgusæter, she's called Sigga. In Greenland, Jan Mørk Pedersen. In Norway, we have 2 contact persons, Eileen Zachariasen from Northern and Mid Norway, and Merete Lunde from Western Norway. And I think we are so lucky that we have at least one of our contact persons with us who are able to say hello to us. Eileen, are you out there somewhere?
1 second, and we'll finish the slides first,
and
we can open up for videos. There we should finish it.
Now we are probably able to get all these techniques.
There.
Eileen.
Hello. Hello, everyone. I reckon from your smile that you can hear me. So my name is Eileen Zachariasen, and I am the contact person from Northern Norway. And I work in the international office in Nordland County Council. So I will be very happy to receive any calls or emails and discuss projects or any questions you might have. So please don't hesitate to contact me. And good luck with your project ideas, everyone.
What you could use the contact person for is to get partners, be it in Northern Norway, Greenland, Iceland. If you have a project idea and you are sitting all around in the, let's say here in the Faroes, and you don't know where to get a partner, write a short description on what you're doing and what kind of partners you want. Send it to us and we will get it out in orbit between our contact person and we will get back. And I dare to promise that if there is a relevant partner in the NORA region, our contact persons together with us will be able to localize that new partner.
And Jakob, you are the contact person for Fair Islands.
Our headquarters here is.
Yeah. So you'll be working as that. Do we have Mariette on here or no?
No.
No. Okay. So I think we should be ready to go to the Q&As. I think we already have gotten some questions in the chat section.
We have the usual suspect question about Svalbard.
Let's start on the Svalbard. Svalbard is unfortunately not part of the official NORA region, as the Svalbard Treaty is kind of stopping us from that. That said, it doesn't mean that we don't welcome Svalbard partners in the NORA projects, but they cannot be funded used by NORA funding. So that's unfortunately the answer to that question.
And will the slides be available on your web?
No, they will not be available on our web, but if you want to have the slides, you can send us an email and we can send them to you.
And now we have a Norwegian question. How far south goes northern Norway, or rather coastal Norway, I guess? Does it include Bergen? Is Bergen a part of our geographical area?
Absolutely. The coastal Norway in the NORA region goes down to Rogaland County, so includes also Stavanger, but not the Agder county. So Rogaland up to North Troms and Finnmark.
You could maybe mention the counties for our Norwegian friends.
Yeah, Rogaland, and then we have Vestland, we have Møre og Romsdal, we have Trøndelag, Nordland, and Troms and Finnmark.
And then there's a question about Scottish partners. And actually, our Scottish friend Katarina McKinnon has a message to that person, so I guess they will be in contact afterwards. I would just like to ask, confirm that project partner in Scotland must be self-funded. Does this mean that they cannot benefit at all from the NORA funding with partners? How should I answer that? Of course, you will not be able to you cannot get those direct funding from us, but hopefully being part of a project, you could benefit from that partnership to be part of that. That will be your benefit. And actually, we know that from Scottish side, there's a wish to be part of NORA project and attack these challenges that we have in common. In Scotland, they have quite of them, some of them in common as well.
Yeah. So it doesn't hurt the application to try to include Scottish partners. Any other questions that you might have, please feel free to either write them in the chat section, or you can also ask them on your video if you like to. I forgot to mention that, with a new digital application form, we will have a webinar again after it has been launched in February. It will be on the 17th of February, will be in Scandinavian, and on the 18th of February, it will be in English. And we will then go through the new digital form and show you how to fill it out, and also ask questions regarding different fields of the form.
And then you have a question on how many projects we support per year. I think I could say it's around 10, 15, up to 20, depending on how large the sums are. We can fund up to 500,000 Danish kroner per year, but all the way down to
per project.
Per project, yeah, per year. But we have seen smaller projects as small as 25 to 30,000. So of course, if you have a lot of them, that would bring the number up. If you have a lot of those for 500,000, that would bring the total number a bit down. But anyway, between, not down to 10, 15 to 20, sometimes some few more.
It's possible to apply for a pre-project.
Yeah.
So a smaller sum to kind of prepare the main project, to gather the partners.
Yeah, to get the partnership constellation going, who's going to do what, and all those things.
Finding an approach to the main project, it's possible to apply for that as well.
Can it be two different projects from one main organization?
I don't see a problem with that,
No,
as long
no.
as the projects are different from each other and have different partnerships.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be a problem.
Or even with the same. We haven't had that situation before, but with the same, if one partnership are working on two complete, I can see how it is done, but on two different teams, then it could be. Don't see a problem with that.
No, we have had projects, several projects from the same organizations before, so it should be okay.
How many applications do you get per year? 50 plus-ish.
2 rounds. So per round between, let's say, 15 and 30 applications mostly.
Normally on a year plus 50, and some very rarely, almost up to 100, but that's been some couple of years ago since that happened.
We have an evaluation round where we go through the applications, and if the project does not fit with the basic requirements that we mentioned, such as the teams or the self-funding, it is possible that it will be rejected on an administrative basis. Otherwise, it will be evaluated. If you have already benefited from NORA funding in the past, can you still apply for a completely different projects with different partners in the future? Absolutely.
Yes, absolutely.
No problem at all.
No problem. For instance, if you have done something with photo tours, you're absolutely welcome to do on another team. Have NORA supported any project on geotourism or co-op between jewelry?
I think we currently do.
Yeah, we have some on the geotourism, and we have had some on the geoparks. Mm-hmm. But jewelry, I cannot recall that. We don't have that many diamond mines here in the Faroes, unfortunately, but I guess there could be some in maybe Iceland and Greenland.
Yeah.
I will say that we haven't had that, how should I put it? We haven't had that team on, but I cannot see why we could not fund it. No. But I guess if it's on a mining scale, I guess 500,000 DKK doesn't make that big a diamond mine.
No, but it's not that far off. So.
Co-op between jewelry production. If it's done in a North Atlantic transnational context, why not? I don't know how it's done, but call us and we can discuss your idea and see what it ends up with. I will not rule that out, definitely not rule that out.
Any more questions?
No, we have.
Doesn't seem like
all questions. So
everything is clear and everybody's ready to just submit their applications. Yeah. Well, if that's the case, then
the next webinar is on
17th of February.
That's on the one in Scandinavian on the
18th of February in English.
In English.
Same time.
Same time, yeah.
They are on our Facebook page, so we can find them there.
That's 12 noon here in Iceland and Faroes, 9 o'clock in Greenland, and 1 o'clock in Norway. So we will close the bazaar now.
Thanks to all of you who have attended.
If you have any very, very last question, you're welcome to come with it now. Otherwise, and please do not hesitate to call us for further discussion. If your project is inside or outside our team, we will advise you on that.
Great.
Thank you.
Bye all.
See you.